Hello friends, welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. We'll start things off, as Jason Garrett did, with some updates on Travis Frederick and his health. For starters, we now know what has been causing the shoulder stingers he has been dealing with. It is Guillain-Barré Syndrome. We'll call it GBS for short because it's not pronounced anything like how it's spelled. Frederick is currently undergoing treatment for GBS. So here's some more information on what this actually is. It is a rare autoimmune disease that attacks the body's nerves and affects only 1 in 100,000 people. Now, recovery, depending on when the disease is caught, can take anywhere from weeks to years. The good news for Frederick and the Cowboys and everyone involved is that it seems the Cowboys and Frederick did catch this early on in the process. While there is no cure for GBS, treatment can eliminate the issue for the most part, and it should allow Frederick to live a healthy and normal life once he's fully cleared from the disease, even though there will not be a cure for him. Now, it is a big impact for the Dallas Cowboys, but as I'm sure you all understand, that's not really the main priority here for the Cowboys and for Frederick. The #1 priority is that his long-term health will be fine. They caught this disease early. That is a very good sign for Frederick. And in reality, this disease can cause paralysis, and that shouldn't be the case here for Frederick. He should be fine long-term. But the reality is this is the NFL, and of course, I'm sure many of you want to know what this means for Frederick and the Cowboys this year. Yes, they caught the disease early. There is still no timetable for when Frederick will be able to return to the Dallas Cowboys. Don't expect him to play in Week 1 this season. That'd be a rapidly fast turnaround. And there's a real chance that Frederick doesn't play at all this season for the Cowboys because of GBS. The good news is long-term he'll be fine. The bad news is, of course, he's dealing with some pain right now, and the Cowboys are likely to be without their all-pro and, frankly, best center in the entire NFL. Folks, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Head to chatsports.com/bet for an exclusive offer, a 120% deposit bonus using promo code Cowboys120. You put down $100, you'll end up with $220 to bet on at chatsports.com/bet. As for how the Frederick GBS syndrome affects him this year and the Cowboys this year, well, Joe Looney is your next man up at center. Now, the Cowboys, if they really wanted to, could consider moving Zach Martin to center. He is the emergency center there. La'el Collins could go play right guard, and Cam Fleming could go play right tackle, and then maybe that becomes your 5 best for the time being. But that is not the Cowboys' current plan. The plan right now is to make Joe Looney your starting center for, of course, Week 3 of the preseason, and likely beyond that as well until Week 1 of the regular season, and as far needed as the Cowboys need to go while they wait for Frederick to return. Now, he has been a bit of the class clown for the Cowboys, as you see right there, pretending to be a heavier Zeke Elliott. He's an okay player. He's certainly not a caliber of Travis Frederick, but let me know, should Joe Looney start at center? Type Y for yes, N for no. The reality is there's really not a better option out there. You can take a look at some potential additions here for the Cowboys. You could bring in a free agent like a Zane Beadles or a Max Turk, who have had their issues. Turk was a former 3rd-round pick and quickly flamed out of the NFL. Beadles, well, there's a reason the veteran has not been signed yet. You could also look for a trade as well. Maybe it's Brian Schwenke of the Patriots, a Travis Swanson of the Jets, a former relatively high draft pick. John Tooth could have been a high pick had he not been hurt right before the NFL draft. Those 3 players there, Brian, Travis, and John, all make some sense in the sense that those teams have other options at center, and they might not make the roster. Thus, they could be waiver wire additions or even potentially trade targets, although I don't know if the Eagles are actually going to trade a player to the Dallas Cowboys at this point. So that's the update there for you on Travis Frederick. We'll keep you updated as things develop, but don't expect him to be good to go early in the season. This syndrome will take time to recover from. The good news is his long-term health is going to be okay.